Hey everyone, welcome back to Prairie Grown Reviews. We review books, games, movies, and TV shows. Today, we are back for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 6, One World, One People. So boys, non-spoiler thoughts. Nat, you first.
Um, Crazy amount of content considering it was only like 45 minutes of actual episode. Gotta say it's a lot shorter than I expected. Kind of disappointed with that, but with the time they had allocated to it, definitely covered a lot of ground. Very entertaining episode overall, and I guess it was pretty solid. Good wrap up.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It closes the season pretty well in my opinion, and I thought the different sort of character development that sort of started last episode continues, and we sort of get a really good finish. We get a really good finish to some of the character arcs that were presented in this series as a whole. Some of the newer characters get a really resounding finish, which I thought was great, and then we get a whole bunch of awesome action throughout. And I just thought it keeps your emotions sort of up, and then it brings you back down. It keeps you sort of level throughout. So I thought it was a really solid end to the season overall.
Yeah, I like that you use the word season because as we've been seeing, there's been announcements that there most likely will be a season 2. They have that option. It definitely leaves the door open, and the way this show is designed versus WandaVision, this definitely has the potential to do more with it.
Yep.
And I really like, not that the characters of Wanda and Vision don't have their own stories, but this as the show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, has a potential for another season. And I hope we see it, especially after how this ends. But yeah, this season finale was really awesome. The action, like most of this was action, and it was really well done action. I thought the fights were great. There was a lot of high stakes moments, a lot of reveals, actually, surprisingly. Like this show wasn't always about reveals, but there was still a fair bit of reveals in this episode. I thought there were some really good character moments, and just overall, I really loved this episode. Yeah. So, any more non-spoiler thoughts from you two?
No,
Let's get into it.
Hop in.
Perfect. Let's get into it. So we are going to go into our spoiler section. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go check it out. Then come join us to see our spoiler section. So we are going in the spoiler section now. First thing off the bat, I think we should say that this show, yeah, it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it actually is Captain America and the Winter Soldier now. Which at first I was like, isn't that the name of a movie? But no, they don't use the "and" the in the title of Winter Soldier. So it took me a sec, but yeah, no, they don't use the "and" the in Marvel. So
Nope, almost never.
but
It's fantastic.
segueing, we get Captain America, Falcon becoming Captain America in his full glory, and that suit, it's like comic accurate to a T. I remember I picked up from the library once one of the Sam Wilson Captain America comics, and it looks exactly like that.
Yep.
Like I didn't know what changes they'd make, but the headpiece, all of it, and I think it looks awesome. It's different, but it's still Captain America. I love the way he utilizes the shield and his entrance was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be the first one to say it. We were wrong. I was wrong about the wings, but I love it. I love the combination of Falcon powers with Cap powers put together to make Sam Wilson the superhero he is. And I thought it worked fantastically, actually. It was really fun to watch.
It makes sense, right? Like he started off as Falcon. There's no reason why he clip his own wings, right? Like he doesn't have the super serum.
That's
like besides that, he needs a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Like if he didn't have the wings, right? He'd be destroyed in this episode. Like there's like
also it just takes away from some of his use. Like he couldn't have done anything with the helicopter. They would have just gotten away.
There was about 12 moments this episode where he wouldn't have been able to do anything if he just had the shield.
He wouldn't be able to enter the whole scene. He couldn't jump through the window.
No, because he fly. Yeah, exactly. Which I love the way he threw the shield first and then jumped in and he kicked the guy. Oh, but I still think that the wings themselves, I think I suggested this last week, are vibranium now. Because the way they take that they take a missile or whatever when he saves those people off the helicopter.
You mean the helicopter? That was the helicopter. Yeah. That was no missile.
No, the one from the cops, or was that the helicopter? Oh yeah.
When he grabbed the one pilot put his wings in the ground and like made
Yeah,
like
that
a
was
like
the
shell.
that
That was the
helicopter.
helicopter. That was the
Yeah.
helicopter
You're right.
bouncing off of him. Yeah, which
But
makes
yeah,
it even
I-
more
that's why-
impressive.
That's still a pretty good feat of, you know.
Oh yeah, and
Strength
that's why I
with the
thought they
wings.
were vibranium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tracks.
And it came from
That's
Wakanda. Of
definitely-
course, it's made of vibranium. It has to be, right? Like,
Everything is that suits. And even like he fell into the water, it did nothing to the wings. Like, cause I don't know if beforehand I probably would have. Like,
Yeah.
Tech took a lot of damage in the series, so I don't know if he could have still flown underwater. But this time, no problem. And Red Wing's back. A new Red Wing, which, yeah, respect. And I like that he even painted Red Wing. So
Yep.
I would like. Red Wing's got a lot of potential to be like a Jarvis type thing, just without a voice.
They should give
Like-
Red Wing a voice. I think that would be awesome. That's what I sort of felt was missing from this episode. Was just little tidbits of voiceover. Would have been awesome. No complaints, but that would have been dope. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So going on to the next biggest thing, Carly dies.
oh
Sure.
wow,
That was
Okay.
not where I was
Okay.
going, but you know what? Let's just dive
Okay,
head first
sure.
into the mess.
She dead.
Not
I
surprising.
guess in relation to that, no, not really surprising. She's killed by the power broker, who ends up being, drumroll,
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter. We all
Hey,
guessed it
Hey boys,
like 3 episodes ago.
we were finally right.
We're
you know what?
right!
It was bound to happen eventually. But
I mean, the
I'm-
internet was right. Everyone guessed it
That's-
after
yeah.
her first episode.
yeah, that's very
I don't
true.
know
too.
how much Marvel was like, this is a secret, or if they kind of
didn't
guessed that people would guess.
try really
like-
hard. Yeah.
No.
The
Yeah.
other thing, there was a couple moments there where I thought that I didn't think Sharon was going to make it out of there. I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit, I mean, coming off the way it ended, it makes sense that she survived. But there was a good 15 minutes of that episode where I was just like, okay, Sharon dies. That is what it is.
what was his name?
Definitely.
The French dude. I thought, okay,
Back
Talk-
up.
Sharon
luck.
Sharon shot the French dude, right? And then Carly
Yes.
shot Sharon.
I
Is that how
thought she
that works?
died.
Yes.
I thought she died there, actually.
Oh, I thought,
You
I
thought
totally
she
thought
died there?
Sharon was gonna
Oh.
die. Yeah, me too.
Oh, I didn't think
I
she was
thought-
going to die. Because the
Carly's
second
gotta
she
be
gave
the
herself
worst
up as
shot
the
of all
power
time.
broker,
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
She like hit her in the stomach. They're like 2 feet apart. That's an easy
Uh-huh.
chest or headshot.
You're like,
well, she's a
Easy.
super soldier. She's not trained. She's not trained at all. That's kind of the
No,
point.
But the problem is that
center
her
mass.
gun was already
Center mass.
That's
the gun
true.
was already trained on her. Like she already had her gun pointed, right?
Yeah.
Sharon had already lowered her weapon. So like Carly was like, when she shot it, she must have lowered her
trying
hand
for
or
the
something
headshot.
to hit her in the
Yeah.
gut. Like this is, you know,
Yeah,
like they're
I don't
roughly
know.
the same height too, right? So like her having her arm
They
extended
were.
was already at her chest. So like, you know,
Strategic
just
aiming.
think-
yeah.
Yeah, I
Hot
definitely.
armor aiming.
I didn't think that Sharon would die just because I thought she'd either have to be brought to justice or there'd be more to do with her still. Because Sam and Bucky had to find out, and they didn't. Like if Sam didn't find out immediately after when Carly was dying in his arms, then I knew she was surviving the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Because there needed to be
Yeah.
a resolution to their story.
Yep.
And well, she gets her pardon too. Let's just finish off Sharon's story. She
Sure.
gets her pardon in the post-credit scene, which it sucks there was only one, but
Very
I mean,
what's the word?
straightforward.
Well, straightforward, but like straightforward can be good. I thought this one was a little bit disappointing. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Because like
Mhm.
I expected a little bit more of a push in some sort of direction that we weren't aware of. But if you
Yeah,
watch
I
the
don't-
end of the episode and you missed the post-credit scene and you just rolled into whatever movie she's in next, you make those inferences. The end credit scene provides almost nothing
Mhm.
new because if you saw Sharon working for the agency again, you'd be like, okay, she got her pardon
they pardoned
and she
her.
got her position
Yeah.
back. Makes sense. We saw what she did in this series. She's obviously dirty, right? Right. It's they did a really good job
Yeah.
of setting it up throughout the episode, which credit to them, right? But in my opinion, the end credit was just a little bit nonchalant. So
Yeah, you compare that with the WandaVision 2 post-credit scenes. They both set up like you got Monica Rambeau going to space, and you've got Wanda learning how to use the Darkhold and her hearing her kids. Like those set up big things. Like, this sets up something. I know this show was said to set up at least 3 other projects, but like, it's something you could have inferred. And also, it's not like if they had waited and held out on the power broker reveal till then, that could have been a big thing. But they revealed it in the episode, so she's dirty, and her getting pardoned wasn't going to flip a switch back to her being a good guy.
Nope, it potentially made it worse.
Yeah, because it had to be an Avenger to pardon her. Like, they wouldn't have done anything about it without Sam stepping in and being like, "Oh, she deserves a pardon." Yep. Moving back to the battle, let's go on to the Bucky side of things.
Nope.
I really thought that Bucky, he doesn't have as much impact on it as Sam, but he still gets a lot of cool action scenes, and he gets his like saving people moment, which he hasn't really had, like saving an individual person. Yeah, he's fought Thanos, and he's fought Thanos in both Infinity War and Endgame. But otherwise, he's really been a bad guy. Like Winter Soldier, he's a bad guy.
Yep.
Civil War, he's still getting mind controlled. So like, this is his first time he gets to save, and sometimes but this is the first time he gets to save like a human and interact with them, and they say thank you, and you kind of see he gets a little happy about it. And that's good for Bucky.
Can we just say that like Carly was super smart making that move? Like, she read the situation so nicely. Like,
which move?
Like when she set the thing on fire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like the truck. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
I was trying to figure out what you jumped to, but yes, totally agree with that. Big brain.
Well, they're heroes.
The phone call too was actually really good too.
The phone call was really smart. Yeah, I didn't because it took him out of the game for a bit. Like, it distracted him.
It took him totally out of the game because he probably would have stopped both those trucks.
Those trucks from
both
going.
Those trucks, right?
Yeah, he would have if he had been.
No, honestly, Carly played her cards pretty good this whole fight until she got shot. But
so the only thing she did wrong the whole episode was she missed.
Yeah. Fair enough.
She shoots 12 inches higher. She doesn't die. It's that simple.
That's true.
It's that simple.
Sam would have never killed her.
No.
Sam didn't even want to fight her. He was like, I'm not going to fight you. And I think he would have found a way out of getting shot there. But I still, he's creative. He could have sweeped her leg or something. He was close enough. He could have done something, or thrown his wings in front. But I still think that, if she had shot Sharon properly, she wouldn't have died. But I mean, she dies an anti-hero.
Yep.
She dies an anti-hero. So back to Bucky, like Nat said.
Yes. I don't know. I think I found what was interesting was like the whole locking mechanism they had on the door. How tough it was. I don't know. Like, I wasn't sure exactly what it would be made of, but like, I'm surprised Bucky didn't rip it off instantly. Like,
maybe it's vibranium.
But how would they get vibranium, right?
Well, she's the power broker. Madripoor's full of criminals and people who could have found their way on a small. That's not a lot of vibranium. No matter what metal that is, that's not a lot.
See, but it was. The thing is, though, it's more than vibranium, because you can't just slap a piece of metal to a door and be like, lock.
Oh yeah, no, it has a mechanism.
Something about that was super intense. So they got it from somewhere. Yeah, they didn't build.
And then there's also the Red Wing shot right through too. Like, he was able to laser cut it out.
Yeah, laser around it and knock it off.
Something.
Did you guys think Bucky was going to catch that truck? I so thought Bucky was going to catch that truck. It would be a callback to the first Iron Man, because Iron Man catches a car like this. I mean, with his metal arm. He's a super soldier too.
It would have been ripped in half.
He would have been a nail. Yeah. He would have been a nail with a hammer. That thing was too high and too heavy for that to it wouldn't have ended well in some way, shape, or form. Bucky probably would have been fine, but I don't think the people inside would have been. They would have been.
And it was also steel beams too. He didn't have that much ground to stand on either.
No, he would have had to.
If he'd be holding it, he wouldn't be able to pull it anywhere. Right? He'd be stuck there.
Yeah, it would have been bad. So
I mean, John Walker could have helped, but
actually, John Walker rolling into John Walker.
Yes.
This is going to be an anti-hero. This is going to be a hot take, but did anybody actually appreciate John Walker in this episode? I didn't love him as.
I think he finally got his final hero moment, right? He went to try and save the truck.
I actually like John Walker as. John Walker.
Exactly.
And we don't know him as US agent yet, but
his little
Lincoln line.
US agent definitely in the comics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lincoln line was good, but U.S. Agent in the comics is anti-hero / a Hydra agent sometimes, and Val doesn't seem like a good person. He'll most likely continue down a dark path, but I think he'll never be full villain because he's still got a little bit of that good guy in him. But I think he'll be darker. Like he did a good thing here, and I did appreciate him. But I think he'll still go down a dark path. But I appreciated his attempt to save the people. Also, segueing from that, Austin, you were wrong last week. His shield was crap.
His shield
it
was awful.
uselessness.
It was awful. Like,
I mean, what did we
It got
expect?
dented the first time he threw it.
I wanted to give him the
Right,
benefit of
like-
the doubt, but
Well,
that
no,
thing was
Austin
horrible.
suggested that Val maybe got him vibranium.
I was hoping,
nah.
because like I said last
There's
week, it
no-
would have made it so much more entertaining if he had a real shield. Instead, it was like, bloop,
Boop.
Carly like kicked it
It
away
just
and it just
broke.
landed on the floor, and it was just
and then it like
garbage. on
became like concave on the top. I was like, oh dear. That's not
Yeah.
good. That was brutal. But
Well, you don't do it yourself.
It
You
served
don't
its
make that
purpose.
yourself. Yeah.
DIY Captain America
But,
shield.
Nah, unless you're Howard Stark, don't DIY that.
I don't
tried.
think
But no,
anybody's pulling that
He
off.
tried.
Well, Howard Stark did.
But if you don't have vibranium, if he
made
didn't
the
have
first one.
vibranium, if he didn't have it, it wouldn't
Oh,
matter.
no. But he made other shields. It wouldn't have been as good, but
Yeah.
he made other shields for
Yeah.
Cap
I mean,
to try.
that's the same.
That
logic
was a
for everyone.
prototype.
Anyone can make a shield, okay? Like
It's a circle.
That's
that's
true.
exactly
It's a
what
circle.
Walker
Okay.
did.
Technically, John Walker did too.
He
It just was a terrible
it looked
shield.
good. It looked good. It just wasn't
Yeah.
vibranium. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, I definitely thought he was going to melt that metal down into like his medal of honor or whatever onto the shield, something symbolic, but he just taped it to the back. At least that was
Probably
the impression
welded
I
it,
kind of got last episode, but yeah, or welded it to it, but yeah. But
I mean, I feel like it
no,
makes sense that way. Like if you
just
melted it, it
resolving
would.
his story. I don't know if it would have done anything. Like it just would have been a waste of his medal. So
go ahead,
yeah.
Nat. Go ahead,
But
Nat.
to resolve his story,
Nope. We're chopping you
Oh,
down, Sebastian. Go ahead,
please.
Nat.
Well, that was all I really had to say, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah,
I felt
I
like
don't
the
know. If
cut
you
off
like
the ear.
melted it down, like if anything, he should have melted down into the middle of the shield, like on the front side.
Yep.
That might have been more
Mhm.
symbolic to have like the actual like,
That's what I
star,
thought.
right? Because he technically got
That's
stripped
what I
of
thought he was
everything.
gonna do.
So, but then again, for his own personal benefit, I still got that medal of honor. Yay, go me! I don't know. It gave him that little push, though,
Yep.
But,
Mhm.
anyways, Seb, you may carry on.
He started as a rage monster and he ends being U.S. agent and that U.S. agent costume is again ripped from the comics. They're very good at doing that in the show. Like that's the exact costume because his Captain America costume was the U.S. agent costume just with the colors of Cap.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we'll be seeing him again. I've heard rumors of maybe Dark Avengers, which are exactly as they sound. They're villains being the Avengers but doing evil, or the Thunderbolts. Which is kind of Marvel's Suicide Squad. There's two teams in the comics that use villains, and he could be on either one. I don't know. We'll see.
Or both.
Just depends on
or
both.
Who they resuscitate, I guess.
Just depends who they recruit. Yeah.
But
we get to see Isaiah again.
Yeah.
I liked seeing Isaiah. We get some resolution. I loved the ending with Sam taking him to the. I love that he added that to the Cap Cap exhibit because like that's part of his history.
Huge.
That's part of the history of the Shield.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go as far to say as it's part of Steve's legacy, but I would say it's absolutely 110% a super huge part of the legacy of the Shield as a whole, really, and the serum, which is so intertwined with Steve's legacy. There's no reason for it to not be there. I thought that whole sort of ending scene was some fantastic closure. If you didn't get chills, go check yourself because that was a super like peak emotion moment of the entire episode.
I almost teared up when he hugged Sam.
It was a strong.
That was emotional.
That's not what this series did, but that was a strong moment. I'll give him that much. And I thought it really did a good job of sort of closing the book, but I'm not convinced we're done with Isaiah Bradley just yet. I'd be very shocked if we don't see him again.
Yeah, his grandson becomes a young Avenger
Well,
called the Patriot.
There's that too. But
So I think we'll see Isaiah again because I think we'll see his grandson again. So, and they look like they're already setting up the Young Avengers based on these Disney Plus shows because you have Billy and Tommy, you've got who are Young Avengers, you've got Isaiah Bradley's grandson, and in the Hawkeye show, it looks like they're doing the character of Kate Bishop, who's a young girl who becomes Hawkeye as well and is on the Young Avengers team. So it looks like they're setting up for a Young Avengers team, and I could see Patriots, Isaiah Bradley's grandson being on it. Sam's speech, jumping right back. Oh, Nat, you've got something. What is it?
Well, I was gonna say, just like speaking of closing books, we can just quickly mention how Bucky got his closure.
Yep.
With the whole everything,
Point.
just a nice quick point. I like that whole scene too. Like, I know it wasn't supposed to be as emotional as Isaiah's scene, like because we got less screen time with it, but like, I kind of felt bad for Bucky at the end. Like, man, all his friends, I guess his two friends, kind of, is like chilling, and he's just like, yeah, I can't go back to that life anymore. He's done things. He probably, I don't know if he was forgiven. I can't tell. I'm not sure.
Doubt it. It'd be really hard. I don't know.
There was a lot of ambiguity in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And but what do we know of the old man from like the beginning? I don't know if it'd be so much of a stretch to say he did. Now, the night of the next day, probably not. Right? It's a pretty strong sentence to get hit with. But like, he seems like the kind of dude that eventually could understand the sort of honesty aspect. But actually, timeout. Depends on how long Bucky's been around. I can't wrap my mind around how long Bucky's known this dude, because like
the longer the worse, honestly.
That could yes, absolutely. That could make a really.
I think they've only known each other since Endgame.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He was in Wakanda before that, so Bucky's probably only known him, and this is only like a year this is before Far From Home.
Yeah, so it's like,
isn't it like it's like 6 months after.
That's what I was going to say. I thought it was 5 or 6 months
after Endgame.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So, but like
that's at most how long he's known him.
6 months is a long time to sit on that, though. That's my thing, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if he was crossing names off a list, maybe he got to his name. His name was probably last, or something like that.
I bet his name was sort of in the middle.
Based on the list.
It was sort of in the middle of the book. But if we're thinking that he's known him since the start, you got to think that he was one of the first people he went to.
That's also very fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's a storyline we're going to follow ever again.
Didn't want to break his. No, we'll never see him again. Nope. But it is sad that Bucky. It's sad that Bucky got has no. Well, he is Sam, and he can go to Louisiana if he wants, even though he still lives in Brooklyn, I think. But he can go to Louisiana and see Sam, and Sam's kids seem to really like, or not Sam's kids, Sam's nephews seem to really like Bucky. Like they were fighting with him when he brought the cake. I
am really disappointed we didn't get any lines out of that scene, and that we didn't get any more your sister jokes from Bucky. I was really hoping. I had my fingers crossed that we were gonna get something, because there
was a smile, but that was about as much as we got. As it went. It'd be funny if they got together.
It'd be
Bucky
awesome.
And Sam's sister. Sam would lose his
a little
crap.
bit weird, but it'd be so funny.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
He's only super old.
Yeah.
I guess that we can loop
so
back
anything
to your,
else you
Sam's
boys have?
We want to do last quick thing.
Oh, Sam's speech.
Finish it off.
Yeah, the last big point. I just thought what he really said, I don't know, it resonated with me in the context of the show, in general, but like just about working together. And he compared their power to Thanos, like just saying, you have that power of influence, of change. Like, remember what it was like to feel hopeless, like to feel like no one was there for you, and think this is how they feel, and now help them to get out of that. Like, all he's asking is for them to help. And I just found it really powerful. And the cameras all pointed on him, seeing it from Isaiah's perspective, Bucky smiling like he's watching Steve again. Like,
I mean, I think that's the point, like, solidified, like, why Sam was picked as the next Falcon, right? Like he embodies what Steve's like his charisma, his character, right? Like he might not be the super soldier that Steve was, but he's still the good guy at heart, right?
Yep.
The good man, not the good soldier.
Yep, precisely.
Yeah.
This is potentially a hot take and probably not a very popular one. So I'm going to mince my words a little bit carefully here because it's not the greatest take in the world. But I personally think that with the wings and the shield, I almost think that's a more powerful combination than the serum and the shield. Because there is a million more things that Sam can do that Steve would have just never been able to get himself into a situation. You know what I mean? Because like the big thing is not being stuck on the ground, right?
I mean, he feels like a combination of what like Tony and like Steve, if you think about it, right?
He's
got like the machine
Tony and
part,
Steve in a way. Yeah.
Right.
You know, the character of Steve.
Because
And
you
considering
have
both of them are
touches of
gone.
both, right? You have those touches of both of them, which I think is awesome. Because honestly, you give Steve any way, shape, or form, even like a mini jetpack, any way to sort of get off the ground,
Oh yeah.
it's game over, right? And that's we have a really dope opportunity to sort of see that with Captain America. We're just gonna go with Captain America. It's
Captain America. He's Captain America. That's how the
Yep.
show ends. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Which-
So big question before we head out here.
I was gonna ask a question. You pose yours first.
Is he going to be the leader of the new Avengers?
That was
Is
not my
Sam the
question.
new
So sweet.
Who's left of the Avengers right now?
Because
Like
there's been a
yes.
few leaders tossed around.
Yes,
Captain
and
Marvel,
only
Black Panther was before
because
passing.
I don't think Bucky wants it. Do you know what I mean?
no. Yeah, Bucky
That's
would not want
my
to
big
go,
thing,
yeah.
right? And like I think
Yeah.
if Bucky I think it's the same thing with the Shield. I think if Bucky hadn't been the Winter Soldier for 90 years, then it would have also been his mantle. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
because of that, I think it'll be Sam. I could see Captain Marvel.
What about Strange?
I could see Strange,
I
but
feel
the
like Strange
thing
has
is,
think
other
he's too
he
mystical.
cares more about like the
Yeah, that's
other
the thing.
dimension stuff, right?
Everybody
the mystic
else-
world.
Supreme.
Like he'll be part of the new Avengers team, but I think he'll. I don't think he'll be the leader, like you said, Nat.
Yeah.
He has other priorities, right? So
precisely. I'm going to throw my question out there before we head out.
Yeah. What's
So-
your question?
We've been talking about potentially getting a season 2 here, right? But the big question that after everybody watches the episode that everybody's going to be asking, there can't be a season 2 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Like it's got to be season 2 Captain America and the Winter Soldier, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
does that make it a season 2 or does that make it a season 1 and a season 1? Because purely from a streaming perspective, you got to label it something, right? If somebody goes to click on it, they want to watch season 1, it's going to say the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They're not going to change that. That shouldn't change in my opinion, right?
No,
No.
that shouldn't change. No.
So like, do you get a
I
season
think they
2
consider it a season 2.
or do you call it season
I think
1,
they just.
but from our perspective, it's really season 2?
I think
you
they
think
just
like a
put it as
spiritual
season
successor
2.
type of thing. You know, like
A what?
I
missed
would-
that.
a spiritual successor.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like it's
It
is
in
a season 2,
spirit,
but
the
it's still
same
called
type of
something
show.
else.
It's a season 2, but
That's-
it's called so like it'd be like
I could see that.
in a way it'd almost be like a spin-off, but
Yeah.
at the same time it's more the same tone, same characters, just
So
in
kind
that sense the way they change the title. But I'd almost say on Disney Plus they'd probably categorize it as a season 2 just
Think
for
so?
simplicity's sake. I think they would. I think the episodes would be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but I think for simplicity's sake they'd put it as one show because it's the same cast, it's the same story, not the same story, but it's the continuation of the story of those characters.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Only time will tell, right? Only time will tell.
Potentially, I don't know. Could be a while, in my opinion. I don't know
Yeah.
when season 2 will wrap back.
I don't know
around.
when we'll see these guys again. Because I don't know when they're going. They've got like 6 shows in the works. I don't know when they're going to start on season 2s. Because Loki's another one they're saying maybe a season 2. So even
And
though
then-
that isn't even aired yet. But
And
still,
then we got to think about what movie, like where the timeline of season 2 would
What
fit
movies they're gonna
in,
pop- yeah.
what movies have to come out first, because we don't really have we have a decently sized timeline, but not with these guys, right? We don't know
no.
a ton yet. So I'm interested. It's going to be a curious couple of years here in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, to say the least. But I'd say 2021, 2 series down, we're off to a good start.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited for the rest of Marvel for 2021. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's content. I hope you had some laughs. I hope you come check us out again. And with that said, here you go, Nat.
Yeah, if you're into any of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have some TV reviews and some gaming videos over there. But if that's not your cup of tea,
We always have most of our content on a podcast form on Apple Podcasts. You can go check that out as well. And if written stuff is more your caliber, whether it's books or just written reviews, Nat's got a perfect option for you.
yeah, exactly. Come visit our website, www.praigrowreviews.com. We have all your reading needs from books, games, movies, and even TV show reviews. If you want to stay up to date,
Be sure to check out all of our social medias on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Get all the updates you need from our site.
And with that said, from everyone here at the Prairie Grown Reviews team, see you guys next time.